Hey everyone, welcome into the Arena Extra Take. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burley of Burleyman Gaming on Twitch. Burley, what is that? What is that you have in your hand there?
It is the Steam Deck.
Oh, all right. And like you've been on vacation the past couple of days. I heard you went to Niagara Falls with your mom for some sightseeing and everything, and I'm sure you had your Steam Deck there with you.
Oh yes, when I took the Ferris wheel up there, my mom's looking out there. Look at the gorgeous views. Come on, I can do this. If I do this, I get the achievement. No, right. I didn't have it with me in Niagara Falls, unfortunately.
Right. I was going to say, man, you got to spend time with your mom. I mean, the Steam Deck, You can spend with it at another time. But anyway, in this episode, usually the Extra Take episodes are about games. In particular, that we discuss and review. But in this episode, we're going to be talking some hardware. So yeah, we're going to be talking about the Steam Deck in this episode. So yeah, is it the best handheld device out there for gaming? So we're going to talk about that. Burley, of course, he has firsthand knowledge, and he's been using the Steam Deck, and he has a Nintendo Switch as well. So we're going to be talking about the Steam Deck and how it compares to the Switch as well in this episode. So before we get running into it, though, I just want to let all of you know that we have a Patreon, of course, and this episode will be going up to our Patreon for our patrons in early access for the first 2 days before going public. So yeah, once you get a chance to watch this, think about joining our Patreon. We've got a ton of content out there, and you won't be disappointed. There's a lot of cool stuff on there for gaming and entertainment and pop culture. So anyway, check us out. So, Burley, all right, we've got some video footage that Burley also made of the Steam Deck. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but first of all, Burley, I'm going to get back to you here for a second. Can you hold up your Steam Deck again? Because I have a question for you. A lot of people are saying that this is quite a heavy handheld device. I mean, how do you feel about it? Is it heavy?
It's got a good weight, but it doesn't feel like my hands are going down because of the weight. But after using it for a bit, it's like that thing when you get newer devices that are bigger and then you try and go back to the older. Like if you go from the DualSense, the PS5 controller, to go to the DualShock 4, you notice the difference in weight. Like if I go from this and then pick up my Switch, the Switch feels so tiny and so like a feather compared to this.
I see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and, for all of you, we're going to watch some of Burley's video. He made some footage of the Steam Deck, and not like from a hardware perspective type of thing where you're like opening it up or anything like that. This is more of the user interface, correct?
Yeah. So what this is I had plugged in because they have the Steam Deck, your only real port is a USB-C port. So I plugged the USB-C dock in there, and then part of the USB-C dock, I can get it out to HDMI, and it works right away to be plugged into a capture card. It's not like a lot of devices where you have to turn off the HDCP. It doesn't have that stuff on. So as you just see here, this is me on the Steam Deck. Me just showing you the Steam store because it just quickly shows you like what it tries to put you to, what works best on the deck.
Okay. Now, go ahead. You were going to say?
This is just my library of stuff, and I'm going the Great on Deck. So this is what Valve has already kind of figured out works on the deck. You have to take that by a grain of salt. Whatever a game is classified may not always be true.
I see.
I've had games that say great or runs well on the deck, but I can't get them working. And this was the big game that released with the Steam Deck, the Desk Job. This is just to get you used to how the Steam Deck, how the button layout, and how it all works. This game is as you can see, I put like very little time into it. Not my not my cup of tea. I have it on there just because I was like, you know what? It should honestly just be pre-installed in every deck, in my opinion. Like, you know how like Astro and some other consoles have had the pack-ins pre-installed? This should just come pre-installed, but no, this is something you have to search in the Steam library and find.
I see. Okay, the next question I want to throw at you, Burley, and I don't know if you've had this situation before, but there's some people out there saying that the battery life on the Steam Deck is an issue. For example, there was one person out there that was telling me he had played with his Steam Deck for a little over 2 hours and the battery had gone down to about 10%. So I don't know if you've had that issue or not, but how is the battery life on the Steam Deck?
From my experience, battery has been fine. The thing is, for the battery, it's like the Switch. You're not going to get as many hours as you want, and it all depends on the game. If he was playing, let's say, I'm just going to go with like Horizon or Doom Eternal.
Actually, he was playing Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, Guardians is a newer game, so it will probably drain it faster.
Okay.
But Valve gives you the options, and I will show them a little later on in here in my footage. Mm-hmm. You can tweak down, so you can tweak down the FPS and stuff like that to save on the battery.
Okay.
So Valve does give you the options.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had play sessions of just like 1.5 hours sitting on my couch, for example, and playing some of my games and still having tons of battery life left. It all depends on the game you're playing at the time.
I see. I see. Now, is the software buggy?
The software is not bad. I've had mine for a little while. They are releasing a lot of updates on this thing.
Okay.
So just I'm telling anyone that picks it up, constantly keep your device up to date. It tries to push the updates, but make sure you're updating your device. It will make things so much. It'll make it for a better experience because Valve is always tweaking and making things better.
Right. And for our viewers here, what game is this? Is it called Desk Job? This game that you were playing here on the Switch?
Aperture Desk Job was the name.
Aperture Desk Job on the Steam Deck. Yeah. So okay, interesting. Okay. Another question for you: is the Steam Deck Windows ready yet?
You can install Windows on there. So the nice thing is you have an micro SD card slot here. Mm-hmm. A little hard to show at the bottom here. You can put in micro SD card and install Windows. You can install Windows, put it on the SSD, or if you have the low tier, the I forget what they call it, the storage chip on there.
Okay.
You can install Windows. It's still not 100% there. You gotta do some hoops through some drivers and stuff like that. But if you're going to do that kind of stuff, if you're going to work and install Windows for that, you know that you're in for something. You got to tinker.
Now, have you docked this to your TV or to your monitor and played with it yet?
Oh, yes. Right before mine shipped, I looked online for docks. Because Valve has shown you a dock that they're going to sell. They haven't given us a price or release date yet, but I bought a little USB-C dock that I stick at the top and can plug, and it's nice. And the nice thing is, because this has like Bluetooth and all that, I've done with a wired controller, I've done with wireless controllers, so I can have this sitting on like my coffee table, for example, plugged in to go on my TV or onto my capture card and have it into my computer.
I see. So we're looking at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game here. So
yeah.
And how did this game run for you? How did this game run for you?
Yeah, it ran really well. Mm-hmm. But one thing I want to mention is the case. Now this is something I really am glad Valve did.
Here, let me get back to you, Burley. Hold on just a second. Okay. All right, there you go. You can hold it up there again. Yeah.
Yeah, the case. This comes with every Steam Deck. Okay. So it doesn't matter if you're on the highest tier or on the lowest tier. On the highest tier, you get an extra little box that you can put under here to keep the charger. better, but it is such a nice thing that you buy this device, you're not instantly hit by another $30 to $40 paywall of getting a case. Because that was the thing. Like, day one, I went and got my Switch. Right after I had played with it for a bit, I immediately later on that day went to 2 other stores trying to find a case. Because the stores where I got my Switch didn't have any of the accessories.
I see. I see. Okay, I'm going to get back to the video here a little bit. So you're still showing us the UI here. Any other things that you want to say about it?
I'm just trying to. I'm trying to think because I recorded this footage a little bit ago. One thing that I do like, I don't show, is that you can plug on here. You can do a restart and go into desktop mode, so you can plug it in with mouse and keyboard, and you can run this like a little Linux PC. And the nice thing, which is cool. So you do get a little PC as well that you can use. I've also used it for mine because you see the non-Steam section on the video there. That is for, I have an emulation station running through an SD card, and the nice thing is it's easy to set up on there. You can have it running, so I can, as I'm playing my Steam games, I can exit, go on there and go pull up ROMs and stuff like that, and just go play some old classics.
Cool. Alrighty. So now the big question, Burley. Is this the best handheld gaming device? I know you have a Switch. Now, the Switch that you have, is it an OLED model or is it the older Switch?
Mine is the older day one launch Switch.
The day one launch. Okay, so you and I are in the same boat there. We have the day one launch. Okay, so, but anyway, how would you compare this to the Switch? I mean, which do you think is the better handheld device?
I would have to give it to the Switch right now.
Okay.
The Steam Deck, I love this thing, and it is my main portable. It's still early. This is still early on.
Okay, so let me throw this question at you real quick. Should those of us out there that still do not have a Steam Deck and are considering buying one, should they wait until the second generation comes out?
Yeah, I would honestly wait a little, because as you know, we're still having problems getting parts. Valve has found a little bit better, but they did get in a little controversy with the people like me, because I have the middle model SKU, the 256 SSD. People have now found with some of the newer ones that were shipped, it's a slightly slower speed than promised. So they did get a little Valve has gotten some pushback, as they should, on that.
I see. Okay, but so back to the previous question of do you think this is the best handheld gaming device? So you still think the Switch is the best handheld gaming device at the moment? It's better than the Steam Deck.
Yeah, I would say the Switch is better. Valve, this could overtake the Switch for me, but the thing is, this is still too early. They're still working, but Valve is putting a lot of effort into this, which I love. And it's cool to see what the modding community and stuff like that are doing with this, because Valve embraces them. That's the thing. You try and do anything on your Switch that Nintendo doesn't want you to do, and it's like, like this thing at least had, because as you saw in my footage, sorted by different categories and stuff. You can do folders and stuff like that. Nintendo just let you do that this year, and the Switch came out in what was it,
way too late.
2017, 2018.
Right.
So Nintendo is slowly doing stuff for the Switch.
Well, they're doing it when they want to do it. Yeah. So.
Well, they just released Bluetooth last year, and it's like, you had Bluetooth on this whole device. You gotta be kidding me, Nintendo.
Right. Okay, we don't know if this is coming or not, but I mean, what about Xbox and say Game Pass. Do you think we'll get like a Game Pass on the Steam Deck at some point?
I'm really hopeful. If Microsoft and Valve can work out a thing that you can get it in the Steam store, if they can make an agreement there, that would be huge. That I could just sit there on my couch, use the Game Pass app, and then I want to play Forza.
Yeah,
I can just stream even if it's just the streaming part.
Yeah.
I know you can do it. I think you can do it with like desktop mode in certain browsers, but that's the kind of thing. The Steam Deck, you have to be, if you want to do a lot of the cool stuff with Steam Deck, you have to be able to tweak.
Yeah.
But one thing I will recommend this device for people that want a gaming PC, but don't have the money to buy the big giant gaming PC. You don't want a giant tower. You just want something that can play games. Modern. You may not, and you're not a resolution junkie and all that I get like 240 frames per second at 1440p and all that. Like if you're not caring that much, these are great little entries just for gaming PC of people, because you can buy a dock. You can buy docks for like $20-$30. Buy an HDMI cable. Buy yourself a controller for like $30-$40, and boom. You've got something under the PS5, under the Series X, and you can just put it in.
Yeah.
Put it in your living room set.
Yeah, I think when it comes to Xbox or PlayStation, because Xbox is more grounded in PC, I would at the moment, I would think that Xbox would probably have more of an opportunity to make a deal with Valve. When it comes to having like a Game Pass app on Steam Deck, whereas PlayStation, I don't see it at the moment. I mean, there could be a time when you have everything on there, but I think Xbox has a chance to get on there first. Yeah, go ahead.
For Sony, I could see them eventually, and then this is like a 2 years from now, I think. They'll push remote play on there.
Yeah, maybe.
Because they did push it to the Vita, and they did push it to PC. They did push it to Windows PC. Yeah. Because I have a coworker of mine. That's how he'll play on the PS5. He does the remote play and just plays through his computer.
Right.
Because the PS5's in another room, so I could see them doing that with this Steam Deck. It's still too early that they'll do this.
Yeah, I'm interested to see when it really does get out here to Japan, how well it sells. I mean, the first question that I asked you about the weight, that would be a big issue here in Japan, because of course the Switch is pretty light, and of course you have the Switch Lite as well. And of course, a lot of kids, they don't want to hold something that's really heavy. So, so that's an issue, I think. But, and then again, it depends on the games that you're playing. And I mean, with Valve and everything, a lot of PC games are on there. So, it would be interesting to see how it would sell here. So.
The one thing I should make mention, though, the nice thing with this device, if you buy this device, you probably most likely have a Steam account already, and you already have a library of games. So if you're buying it, you're not like having to buy 10 to 30 games. You've already got a good library. And Valve is constantly, there are websites that will show you that you can go log in with your Steam account, and it'll pull your library and see, these are playable, these are these are won't, these are untested.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So that has been our episode on the Steam Deck. So all of you out there, if you have any questions or comments about your Steam Deck, if you already have one and you're playing with it, and let us know in the comments, how you like your Steam Deck so far. We'd be interested to hear from you all about your experiences with the Steam Deck. So anyway, so thank you so much, Burley. So Burley, of course, has his Steam Deck, and of course he's been playing it for more than half of his vacation time already, I'm sure.
I wish that much. No.
I know, I'm just kidding, man. So anyway, that's been our Arena Extra Take episode on the Steam Deck. So I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burley of Burleman Gaming. We hope to catch you in the next one. And of course, our next episode of the Arena, a Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast. Episode 97 is already out. It's on Patreon and it's up on our YouTube channel as well. So you can check that out. And of course, episode 98 will be coming up this coming weekend. So stay tuned for that. Okay? So take care, everyone. Peace out.
Bye, everyone.